So I'm starting to get kind of worried about the release date. I mean, we're nearly in August. I mean, if they don't announce it in August, then it's time to probably panic, because we're starting to get into their lineup. Well, they already have, like, they're releasing one every month. This month, July, it was, I believe it was Splatoon 2, and then in June it was ARMS, and then May, I can't remember, I think they had a dripple of things. April was Mario Kart, so they've had dripplings of stuff. So it kind of, with this pattern, you kind of start to think about how they're going to release something once every month. Obviously, I believe August is their Mario Rabbids game, which is their turnaround for that game. It's the one reason I'm not panicking, because their turnaround time is actually very quick, believe it or not. I mean, it was announced just before E3, was it? Yeah, literally just before they showed it off at E3, and then 2 to 3 months. It's even more shocking than, well, Fallout 4 was, I think, a bigger game. They did it within the span of 6 months, but Nintendo, they're doing it within the span of Mario Rabbids is quite as impactful because of how, even though it is kind of a big crossover, it still doesn't have like Fallout 4 how hyped it was when it was coming out. Anyway, so their September game is going to be a port of an older game. I think they'll have a Rayman game coming out as well, but that's also another port. So September is going to be their month of ports. And then after that, their October game is going to be Mario Odyssey. Yeah, that game does look really fun. It kind of reminds me of 64, but it also reminds me of Sonic Adventure, and people are calling it Mario Adventure. But that begs the question, what's going to be their November game, and are they going to have a December game as well? If they're doing one a month, December tends to be open, doesn't usually have a release date. I think it might have, like, the first week of December tends to do somewhat well, but you never see too many games coming out. I think the only time I remember a game coming out a week before Christmas might have been The Walking Dead Season 2. But that begs the question, is one of these two games going to get delayed? Is it going to be Fire Emblem, or is it going to be, what was it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I hope none of them get delayed. If I had to pick, obviously I'd pick a Xenoblade because I've never been too into it. But I think Xenoblade is more likely to get delayed because of how big it is and how they released the other one back in 2015. So to make a big sequel in 2 years for a new device just seems a bit odd. Whereas Fire Emblem has had a bit more time, even though they had to port it to the DS. It was still just a port. But yeah, I think I'm just a bit worried that one of them is going to get delayed and get pushed off into 2018. I could see that happening before their February, March, maybe release. Nintendo have been very good. They've been saying that when they say something, it tends to come out that day. Obviously not Zelda, but there was an exception to that. They didn't have their shit together, but now they do. And then when they say 2017, I hope they mean it, but the fact that they're not giving us exact release date is kind of troublesome. In terms of when we're going to get another release announcement, it was a month ago, we got the Awakening one. I think sometime in August, and then what could it be? Like I said last time, it'll probably be a Shadow Dragon update. I would not be surprised if it was. Maybe it'll just be another One Awakening character. But yeah, I'll do a video on that when it comes out. I'm thirsty for this game. I really want another game to play on my Switch. I've been just playing pretty much Zelda, a bit of Mario Kart. I'll see you when the next Warriors announcement happens.